When have you said, "That's not my name"? When I was 8, I got called to the principal's office over the intercom, but instead of my name, they called Jose Martinez. I just sat there confused because my name is Joseph Martin. They called it again louder. "Jose Martinez to the office immediately." My teacher looked at me and said, "That's you, right? Just go." I walked down the hallway completely confused. I'd never been in trouble before, and I had no idea what this was about. My stomach was in knots thinking about what I could have possibly done wrong. The walk felt like it took forever, and other kids were staring at me as I left class. When I got to the office, the secretary looked annoyed and started tapping her pen impatiently on her desk. "Finally! Why didn't you come the first time I called your name?" I said quietly. "My name isn't Jose Martinez. It's Joseph Martin." She rolled her eyes like I was being difficult on purpose. "Same thing. Jose is just the Spanish version of Joseph." I stared at her, trying to process what she just said. "I'm not Spanish. I'm Italian-American." She waved her hand dismissively, like she was swatting away a fly. "Martinez, Martin, whatever. Your people all have similar names anyway." Close enough. I felt my face get hot and my chest tighten. Even at 8 years old, I knew something was really wrong with what she was saying. This wasn't the first time something like this had happened either. Last month, they'd given me someone else's report card. "My people?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "You know what I mean," she said, not even looking up from her paperwork. "Don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. We're busy here." That's when my mom walked in for our scheduled meeting about my gifted program placement. She'd been fighting all year to get me into advanced classes, but the school kept making excuses about why I wasn't quite ready, despite my test scores being in the 95th percentile. She heard the entire exchange. My mom, who was normally soft-spoken and polite, absolutely lost it. "Excuse me, did you just say your people about my 8-year-old son?" The secretary looked up, suddenly realizing someone had been listening. "Oh, I didn't mean anything by it. We just had a little mix-up with names. Happens all the time." "A mix-up?" My mom's voice was getting louder and sharper. "You called him Jose Martinez when his name is clearly Joseph Martin. Then you told him it was close enough because of his people." "I think you're overreacting," the secretary said, but she was starting to look nervous and kept glancing toward the principal's office door. "Am I?" My mom pulled out her phone. "Because I recorded the whole thing when I walked in. Every single word." The secretary's face went completely white. Her hands started shaking slightly as she fumbled with her papers. "Let me ask you something," my mom continued, her voice deadly calm now. "How many times has my son been confused with other students this year? How many times have his test scores been lost? How many times have you told me he's not quite ready for advanced programs despite his perfect grades?" The principal's door suddenly opened. He'd been listening from inside his office the entire time. "Mrs. Martin, please come in and bring Joseph with you." 20 minutes later, we walked out with a formal written apology. The secretary was getting written up for discrimination, and I was officially enrolled in every single advanced program I'd applied for. They also promised to review all my records from the beginning of the year. Turns out they'd been mixing up my records with several other students all year long. Somehow, all of us had been getting lower placement recommendations than our test scores actually showed.